The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Slide over here. Let me make sure my volume's up. Hello, everybody. Today is Friday. If you're not in the field, I would hope that you would be on my training today so we can help you advance your sales strategies, techniques, and tips and tricks. Hey, Chris, is there a way to knock this thing out of my screen? If I hit that orange button, will it pull it to the side so I can see the whole screen?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, everybody. Welcome to Advantage One's Mortgage Protection Mastery. And what we're going to do today is I would like to really leave the mic open throughout this and get some questions asked as I'm going through the process so we can pull this stuff apart. I'm going to do some simple strategies that you can use inside the home, some techniques that I use to not only pull larger premium out of people, but find money while I'm in the home. Now, I'm going to do two sides of this. I'm going to do one side for beginners and then one side for people that have been in the business for 1, 2, even 3, 4, 5 years and beyond. So I want the beginners to get some education on this. So if the more advanced people can hang in there, and you'll get something from this too. The very first thing that we have to understand is that you are a business owner, that you do work for yourself, and that you can change your life very fast if you're on the training and you're following these instructions. The number one thing that people lack in this industry is not just education, but it is lead flow. Without it, you're doomed. You can't advance your career at all. So what we're going to do is here, we're going to put up leads. Let's explain what I feel is necessary. So if you have 20 leads a week, even 10, if you're brand new and you got a minimum of 10 coming in, and that's all you can afford, that's okay. This is mortgage protection, but you have to keep in mind that there are leads from B leads, that our B lead system is similar to most people's A lead systems. So they're that good. There are people that just haven't been seen by you. Now, even if they've been seen by another rep, the language on the phone should be, hey, Mrs. Jones, why don't you take a look at it similar to buying a car? Why don't you give me a chance? I'm already in the area. Take a look at what I can offer. 9 times out of 10, I can beat the price of the other rep, or I can get you more final expense life insurance or mortgage protection coverage. And that little line there usually works 9 times out of 10. I know it's not an advanced line that I'm speaking, but it works pretty good for new people. So you have 10 leads a week, by the way. This is weekly, coming in. Because why weekly? Hey, Jay, why can't I just use 20? I haven't seen everybody yet. Well, because by the second week, you're going to dull out. By Wednesday, you're going to be out of people to see. And then you have to wait for this stuff to come back in. If you're doing mail drops, you don't ever want to stop this. So you just got to get it on a continuous basis of lead drop. It is the number one thing that you need to do aside from education. If you don't have the education, product knowledge, every rep that comes new to me, I just tell them right out of the gate. So there's a lot of them on here today and a lot over on here too, that I tell you have to have the product knowledge. You've got to have it. Without it, you're doomed. You've got to have product knowledge. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of you may be just sitting there watching this, driving in your car. If you're driving in your car, that's okay. But if you don't have a regular notebook for Chris, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's trainings, and my trainings, and then Alyssa's trainings on the phones, you got to get the notebook out. I mean, I used to sit in a class for 8 hours studying this stuff with a group that I was with once a week. And you get really, really good at this if you take notes. It just hits your memory. Listen, 1, leads. Number 1. 2, product knowledge. What are you doing while you're waiting for your leads? You're getting product knowledge. How do you get product knowledge? Well, A, you can ask your upline. So start asking questions. Get more money by asking questions, learning your products, and keeping a lead flow coming in. Bottom line is if you want to see larger dollar signs or any money whatsoever, you need to do this, okay? My training in the home is just a piece of the puzzle. It's a very small piece of the puzzle. It's simplicity. It's rapport building. It's like making, if they know, like, and trust you, the bottom line is that they're going to want to work with you. And they know, like, and trust you, they're going to want to work with you. Bottom line. So without the product knowledge and the leads, you don't know how to, you can't do anything for Mrs. Jones. You can't really help these people, period. So what we want to do is get that part down. I just wanted to throw that in there and make sure that everybody gets on a steady lead order and starts picking the products apart. If you don't know what product you should be studying, talk to your upline. Ask them, what product should I be studying the most? Pull them apart. If you just took one carrier a week and pulled a few products a week, by Wednesday you'd probably have them down. But the biggest thing that you're not doing is you're not practicing. You're not even pulling the stuff out in the home. You gotta learn the script list. Get good on your scripts too. And how do you do that? Well, you just call the carrier, call your upline, put it on GroupMe, find out what scripts follow with what products. What product do I need? If you're new, ask questions. You have no clue how badly I bug Chris every day, but when I was new at this, how many times I would call the upline or the carrier. It was the only way I knew how to get ahead. Most of the time I contacted the carrier. For new reps, so you got 10, 20 leads come in, down, hey, Mrs. Jones, I'm calling half of ABC Mortgage. I'm the rep that handles that area for that mortgage protection information you requested. I'm going to be in your area tomorrow at 2 p.m. Does that work for you and Mr. Jones? Get through that part. There's more advanced objection scripts too to get through, but that's a simple script to use. And then once you're at the door, I'm going to put the door here. You knock on the door. You ring the doorbell. She answers the door, or he answers the door. You meet and greet. You say, hello, I'm Jason. I'm here to drop off that mortgage protection or final expense information that you had requested. Would you like me to take my shoes off? Take the shoes off. Just a simple way of saying, hey, I respect your home. Then I want you to take total and massive control, okay? There's tables in the home. Check this out. If you're not aware of this, you should be. This is important. This is you, okay? Wherever the arrow is you. I had a guy tell me he didn't want me to sit here the other day, and I told him, look, for me to get this through to you two, I can't have your wife and you across from each other. I need you to sit here and her to sit here, so I can slide things over back and forth to you. Okay, sure, you can sit over here and then two here. So I gave him a seat, and I sat over here, getting closer to them. But you do not want to be across from the table from these. In a circular table, that's kind of hard to do. You always have line of sight access. That's line of sight access, so you're not twisting your head back and forth. Do not sit in this position. Do not have Mr. Jones here and Mrs. Jones here and a beneficiary there if it's necessary or whoever else. Just have them in line of sight. So how do you do that? Walk in, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Jones, great, I'm here to give you that mortgage protection information you're requesting. Let's use this table right here. That's okay? Okay, great. If the table has stuff all over it, just take massive action. Just start moving the home. Move it around. Once you're inside the house, it becomes your office. And if you don't visualize it that way, you're going to fail because they take control. They take massive control. It's their home. You have to respect their home, but at the same time, you have to be advancing in the home. So you have to take some kind of control. It's very important. Mr. Jones gets control, it's over with. Somebody's talking too much, it's over with. They got to come back and they want to see you again, it's usually 9 times over with. So these two parts are important. Treat it like it's your office, get massive control, and do not allow anybody to talk too much. If they're talking too much, and Mr. Jones, that's a funny thing. I wish you could be buried in the back garden. But you know what? I'll tell you the interesting thing about this product is it does this. Hey, he's talking about golf. Yeah, Mr. Jones, I love golf too. We should go out sometime. But the interesting thing about this is, you got to get around that stuff. You have to take control in the house. Very important. Then what do? How do you control the persons in the house? By giving them knowledge. You want to take control, but you want to have knowledge. So you're trying to teach people. You're giving people an education on your products or product. So you have products to give over. Now, what do you have to know? You have to know about their health, right? When do you pitch this? Do you pitch the health first, or do you pitch this more of are you the salesy type individual first? So is it health or sales first? So sometimes people get confused on here. I say this part's the building rapport part. In a sense, this is rapport to the point of trust with the product knowledge. So that's rapport to the point of trust through product knowledge. Okay, and then there's rapport to the point of trust through the human side of it. So this the emotional side of this thing. I get people to cry in the home. I mean, there are women like tearing up. I pass them a tissue. The old saying is if they cry, they buy. And it's like, sad thing to say, but it's true. And this is an emotional business. If you're not painting the picture, you're not going to sell. You're not going to sell large policies anyway. And I'm trying to teach you how to get your premiums up too. I want to show you guys something. I just showed Chris this before the webinar. This is a week's worth of work. This is a whole tablet, okay? It's used to the end too, by the way. All the way through here, I've written everybody's life out. Every single client I've seen has an illustration in front of them, and I'm going through every single step with them so they understand what I'm talking about. This is how I pull larger numbers out, because I'm painting that picture. I am literally painting the picture of what it's going to be like. Inflation, Mrs. Jones, level income, possible tax increases. This is 4% increase every year. If you don't have a product that continues to grow with your inflation in life, you're doomed. You got to step aside and yourself and start really becoming somebody extraordinary inside these homes to get the information direct to them as they have requested anyway. I think the biggest part about this puzzle is you guys don't believe that they've already requested the information. They don't know what way this works. So any way you do it is the right way to them. They have no idea. So as you're advancing and you become a beginner, start with the rapport building. Sales is important to you because you make an income from the sales, from the leads that you purchase. So you got the leads, you got the sales, you get the income. What we need to understand is how to position yourself in the home. So you've already taken control of getting in the home. You're at the table. You're getting prepared. Being prepared and knowing your bag is important. So if you're the guy fumbling around in the house and you have this bag here, and you're at the table with Mr. and Mrs. Jones here, you need to be able to get some materials out. And the number one thing I'm going to tell you to use is a pen and paper. It's all you really need. The leads are important. You have the leads out. You can have your leads that you're going to see out. You can have the lead. You better show them what they requested. That's important. But taking control in the home is valuable. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get into the sales process here. So for beginners, I want you to do it like this. When you're building rapport, it's good to build rapport through the human side of it. That's, checking out the home, seeing the kids, finding out what they like, just getting them to know you're human. But then in like 30 seconds to 1 minute, rapport doesn't have to last 15 minutes. Okay? It does a hell of a job if somebody knows you better. There's no doubt about that. But you don't have time. Just continue to keep rolling through your leads and use the law of large numbers to make your money. Taking care of these people is important, but 15 minutes is too long. If you spend 5 minutes to 3 minutes on this, that'd be good. But the real rapport building starts on the products. What they're capable of doing for their life and their future and their loved ones. So the product is really what builds their interest. Okay, they love the fact that you love them and you love their house and you love their car and you play golf and you surf or you do whatever they do. But rapport building to the point of trust with products is so valuable. It's what sells the deal to me. To me, it sells the deal. So even with people that dislike me, because there's going to be people that don't always agree with you, but there are people that dislike me can't deny that the facts are there in front of them. By the way, every time I erase this, it's a new sheet of paper I'd be going through in the home. So we have the products, and we need to know what to use in case. So we're going to ask them some questions. We want to understand why we're there. What's the word we're searching for or we're creating? I create the need. A lot of people are searching for the need. I create it for them. Now, I understand that I'm there for mortgage protection, but what options do I have if I don't know anything about them? Mrs. Jones, if God forbid Mr. Jones isn't here anymore, would you even live in this home? No, I wouldn't. My job became very simple. What do I got to do? I got to help her sell the home. That's it. Or he lives long enough and we pay off the back end. What do you need? You need 50K, you need 25K. Hell, I've even sold 12K. Mortgage protection isn't always based upon the large numbers, okay? Just for you to get some money in your pocket or even final expense for that matter, just making some dollars makes sense, okay? So just get some numbers on there, but understand their needs. So selling the home for what? Tell them why. Because they always want to protect the equity inside the home. Valuable word to use in the home. Equity. Equity is a valuable word to start training your prospects and clients on why they protect these homes. So you have a house here. It's the largest investment that they have. It earns them 3 to 6% on an annual basis in a good market, depending on the area. So it's a great investment for everybody. Now, there's equity being built into the home. What we want to do is we want to protect the equity, and then we also want to try to pay the home off. When do we pay the home off? In my area, I have older people. I'm going to do young and old. So in my area, I can have somebody from 50 to 80 years of age asking me about this stuff and buying from homes and refinancing. So let's meet me in the middle here. We'll take somebody at 65 years of age. What do I know about them already? If I know the age, what do I know about them already? The likelihood is they're probably retired, okay? Mr. Jones, you still working anymore? No. I know there's no income from there. No income from work. Mr. Jones, you and Mrs. Jones are on a Social Security monthly budget, is that correct? Yes, Social Security budget. People are okay with giving you that number, so now I found that there is an income in the home. Now, you need to know this stuff to get larger numbers, but this is how I do it to feed people information while I'm gathering information, okay? And I want to know, well, out of the two of you, one of you is going to get the larger of the two Social Security incomes. And a lot of times in my business, and I've been doing this for quite some time, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what I see is the issue being that they don't understand that 6 to 12 month period for Mrs. Jones to receive the Social Security, which is the two of the larger, fails them by paying the mortgage. So Mrs. Jones ends up losing the home. So very simple. You got, let's say, call this guy Harry. He's 65. You got Ann. Just call her 65 to make it easy. Mr. or Mrs. Jones, what's your monthly mortgage payment? It's $1,000. How many years is that? It's 30 years. Okay. So he's 65. You all know he's going to be 95 by the time this is paid off. So the likelihood is we want to find another beneficiary other than Ann later on. Mr. Jones, out of the two of you, who has the two of the higher Social Securities? And the reason I'm asking, because we're trying to figure out a number. So if one of you is no longer here, and Ann has to survive, I'm here to put a number in place so she can survive or pay this house off. So help me help you. So explain to them why you're kind of dabbling in this. I don't know if this is more advanced, but I think it's a part of just selling mortgage protection. So if you're at this level, you got to get used to doing this stuff. And if you're new, it just takes practice. So just continue to do it. Continue to watch the videos. So out of the two of you got Social Security, Mr. Jones has $2,000 a month, and Mrs. Jones has $1,000 a month. We know it's going to take 6 to 12 months for her to receive this worst case scenario, okay? Worst case scenario. Now, we take him out of the puzzle. She's living on $1,000. We know the monthly mortgage is $1,000. She's doomed, okay? What do you owe total on the home should be on the lead, but ask them if they even know what that is. It's, let's say it's 100 grand. Let's say it's 200. It's $200,000, $1,000 a month, 30-year mortgage. We're trying to get this thing paid off. There's more advanced tricks and tips and things like that I can get into later, more advanced stuff. But for now, let's keep it simple. Our job is not always to pay that number off. They're going to be 95, guys. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, if I take both of you out, and God forbid this happens, but both of you go at the same time, who receives the equity in the home? Now I'm teaching them something. Now their mind is like, oh, equity. Yeah, I forgot about that. This place is actually earning me money. It's like a bank account to me. Who gets the equity in the home, or who would receive the home? Now in my area, there's 55 and above places, so not a lot of the kinfolk can live in as until they turn 55 years of age. But in many areas, anybody can just move into the home. It's not 55 and older. Equity built up into the house, huge, 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 huge. Now, is there any money that you guys put down on the home? Is there already equity in the house? Did you make a down payment? Oh, we put $20,000 down on it. Oh, wow. So, there's $20,000 right now to protect. So God forbid, Harry, we can do the numbers with me, Harry. Your wife has $1,000 a month, okay? You have $2,000. She has to wait possibly a year to receive this. And the monthly mortgage is $1,000. How's she going to survive? So bringing proof to him about the numbers makes all kinds of sense to them. Now they're seeing what the hell this does, and they understand it. Now, their vision to you, by the way, when you walk through the door, and don't be afraid of this, is that they're going to pay a couple bucks a month to try to pay off the home. They don't know how it works. Believe me, they don't. I've run into too many people that have had mortgage protection in the past, okay? So we're building equity, we're protecting the equity, we have the monthly mortgage. We want to know something else very vital to you and them. You have life insurance. Barry, do you have life insurance? A lot of times they'll say I had it through my job. Well, that doesn't usually carry on, and I tell them, contact the individual who's the carrier. Let's call them right now. Yesterday I found 2 policies where the guy took a loan against it. It was worth $8,000. He took half of that. I told him, that's depleting. They're going to deplete that cash value. You're not going to have a policy anymore. Eventually it ran out. I got them on the phone, showed him the facts, and was able to get him taken care of through a new product with him. So long story short is if they have life insurance, you want to check out what they have. So what is it? Here's how I ask. What do you have? Do you know what it pays? I don't want to ask the product. I want to see what it does. What does it give to Ann? How much does it pay to Ann? What gives her? Here's the numbers. Check this in your notes. 50K and above is either term or IUL or UL. Okay? So 50,000 and above, or even 40,000 and above in some cases, is term, index universal life, or a UL. How do you know that? The numbers are too big to be final expense products, okay? So what we can do with this is, if you're more advanced, you can replace these policies and use the premium being used in there, tacking on an extra 100 or 200 bucks, which I'll help you find out how to do that, using this premium to get them a new product that will be there for life. Because what you know about this is this term terms out. What age does this term out, Mr. Jones? How long is it good for? I don't think it might be forever, too. So how long is that term good for? Term means terminate. Eventually, it's going to end, Mr. Jones. It was a 10-year. It was a 20-year. Okay, how long have you had it? Well, I've had it, 9 years. So, okay, so if it's a 20-year and he's had it, let's say he's had it 10 years. You only have 10 years on this. You'll be 75. So you plan on going in the next 10 years? Oh, no, I don't. Okay, great. Let's do this. We're going to take a look at what the other options are. How much you paying on that a month? I pay about 100 bucks a month. That's a great number. Sometimes on these term products, you see low numbers too, so get prepared for that also. But index universal life, cost of insurance, just remember that for the more advanced people. Cost of insurance is what you use. Get the carrier on the home, find out what that cost of insurance is, add it up into the cash value, whatever the cash value has left of it, deplete it with the cost of insurance, and show them how much time they have on these products. You can easily replace it with an index universal life, or maybe another term even, if the age is right, and it gets them to death. How do we do that? Mr. and Mrs. Jones, in your family tree, because we don't really have an idea when we're all going to go. I could hit by a bus when I walk out the door, of course, but by health, do your family live till age 85, 95? Because we're projected in my era to live to age 95, but your projections are more like 85, but you could go beyond that. So does your dad? And I really want to paint the picture of this is going to happen. Eventually it's going to happen, okay? There's no doubt that it's going to happen. When is the question, okay? Now, when it happens, what will Ann have in place? Mr. Jones, are you leaving her anything else behind that you can survive on? So during the time that she's waiting for your 2,000 bucks, do you have anything else in place? That's where I flush out the 401ks, the IRAs, and things like that. I'm not going to do that today. Let's just say he doesn't have anything in place. This is just mortgage protection straight out. And he doesn't even have life insurance. So your job is 2 things. 1, you can find the numbers that get the $200,000. How do we do this? Now, we know he has a $3,000 a month budget. If he's pulling $1,000 out for the mortgage, that leaves $2,000 a month behind. You're going to be dreaming if you think you can get $500 to $1,000 out of these people 9 times out of 10. You can do it. I shouldn't say you can't, but you can. But is it likely to stay on the books is the question. So it's important to get policies that stay on the books. So what you're going to convince these 2 to do is buy her time. Ann, you're going to stay in this house? No. Okay, here's what I'm going to do for you 2. I'm going to buy Ann time. So, or we can pay off the back end. So, Mr. Jones, if you do make it till 95 years of age, 90 years of age and you die, that you'll have enough money to pay off the home, even 85. But if, God forbid, that you die sooner, we always want Ann to have the equity inside this home, because right as you have it set up right now, the bank is going to take this home off for her, and they will get the equity, and then they will resell this home for the appraisal price on the home. Okay? So it's very important that you get that information to them and share with them what will happen and how it's really going to look. You know what I mean? So if they have $2,000 a month left to pay bills on, there's a car payment, there's rent, there's things like this. A great question to get to the bottom line of what you can use is, if they have life insurance and you can replace it, you can use those premiums to add into this. But Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you pay all your bills at the end of the month. You're down to what you have left over after you've paid all your bills off, reminding you, and had some fun money taken out. On an average month, do you guys have closer to $500, $750, or $1,000 a month left out of the $2,000 because we already paid your mortgage? So this is why I have to explain things, because there's a lot of math, but math makes sense. They can't deny it. You know what I mean? So if they tell you something, maybe a couple numbers off. So we have let's say they have $750 a month left over. So by my calculations, all their bills are paid, and they easily could live on $500 extra in their pocket. Meaning that my policy value can be easily $250 a month, keeping them $500 a month. Now, if they have $500 a month left over, I try to leave them $400 to $300 a month left over. So a simple question to ask them is, at the end of the month, you paid all your bills off, you had some fun money, just to budget this correctly, because I'm not here to take food off the table. However, I am here to keep it on the table when one of you is no longer here. And the biggest thing that we are protecting for Ann especially, because Mr. Jones, in all fairness, I'm going to do another page. In all fairness to Ann and you, if we slice this page down to half, I'm drawing on the paper, remember, you have $2,000 a month left over, and Ann has $1,000. This playing field just isn't even. This is not how it's supposed to look at the end. You guys have done all these years together. She will be out, and you can stay in. So your survival is unquestionable. You'll be okay. Inflation might hit you here and there, but Ann is no longer in this home. What are we protecting for Ann? We're protecting the equity and the back end of the home. So paying off the back end. He dies at age 85, 90, getting small policies. Because inside that premium, I don't know what $250 comes to, but maybe he qualifies. Now, we're qualifying. During my questions sometimes, during the questionnaire, I'm training, so that's kind of off, but during my questions in the beginning, I may build rapport a little bit, and I'll say, in the past 4 years, if you guys have any heart attack, heart surgeries, anything wrong with your brain, basically, do you have any dementia or anything like that? Have you had cancer in the past, 4 to even 10 years in the past? If that's all a no, I know that, yes, we can get them term again, but let's cross that out, guys. I don't know about you, but at age 65, I needed to go the distance. So what options do we have? Now, if you're brand new, you could do a bunch of final expense policies if you don't know what you're doing yet. You can easily get them final expense policy, use $250, $100, even minimum $50. All you're doing is buying her time. Remember, it's not a big policy. So you're buying this woman time using $250, and I don't know what kind of policy that would get on a healthy 65-year-old male, but it seems to me it would be fairly sizable. I would think it'd be 50 to 100,000 easy, right? So she receives a big check, got 50 grand. Mrs. Jones, you need any help with anything, you contact me. I'll teach you how to never outlive that money. Now I'm building a way to get people into the index annuity advantages of never outliving that money that they receive. So I'm building a list of people that I know have received a large sum of money at the death of the individual, and then that's why I try to keep in contact with them every year to see how things are going. But a carrier will report to you if somebody's died for sure, Any questions yet on anything? If there's any questions or comments, you could comment over here. You can ask questions live. You can ask me anything about the life insurance or mortgage protection industry and annuities. Now, I'm going to go more advanced on this, okay? So this is for the people that have been doing it a while, and this will help the newbies understand where they can end up one day. So very simply put, and by the way, for the new people, let me do something real quickly. For the new people, if you run into 40-year-old people and you're in the demographics where the age is younger, you can easily do that term product. So learn your term products. If you want to do them a favor, get them the ROP, get them all their money back. If you learn how to do that, you're going to make a lot of money. Your percentages are much higher on these products anyway, so you're going to kill it financially. And that's about it. Learn those products. If they don't qualify for them, then you got to fall back on your final expense stuff. But learn your products very, very well. Learn what your options are. Why, Mr. Jones, why are these products easy to sell too? Why? Because they come with living benefits too, guys. Mr. Jones doesn't have to be dead to get this money. 85, 95%, you got to check the carrier. Of this money can be received, $100,000, Mr. Jones. God forbid you get cancer internally, you get a heart attack, you get stroke, you can't do 2 of 6 daily activities a day like walking, bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, getting yourself around, transferring yourself in many ways. You get $95,000 for doing that. If you choose to. If you need the money, it's there. Now, it's great for singles. So if somebody's single and they don't have a significant other, I have put this policy just using that strategy on people that are single, that I found out in their family tree runs cancer, heart attack, stroke. Most of them can't do 2 of 6 daily activities because they're old anyway. We all end up there. So it's a vital part of just living is just having insurance on you, man. We're going to insure our house. We're going to insure our car. We're trying to ensure that our loved ones are surviving when we're gone. And the only thing that's going to part you from selling these products is rapport to the point of trust and product knowledge to the point of trust. So they gotta believe you and they gotta understand the product. So bringing up products like Mutual of Omaha helps your sale go well. I offer things like Mutual of Omaha. I'm sure you've heard of them. Knowing the background history of Mutual of Omaha, its inception date, things like that. Be impressive in the home. Go beyond the other reps. Go beyond your leader. Learn more than he's even taught you or she's taught you. Become the most educated person in the room, and your freaking numbers will go through the roof, okay? So more advanced stuff. We can use index universal life, which I like a lot. I do sell a lot of this stuff, and I am in the business of replacing 401ks, any retirement schedules. If somebody has a retirement plan, you can get them to fund it this way instead. So these are great products, and if they can get to the end of the road and get them till death, there's not a problem with earning 8 to 9% interest on your cash value currently. And there's no downsides. You can't lose a dime. It comes with living benefits. It's fantastic. It's a great product. Versus term, depends on you, I guess. I don't know. And the situation matters too. But you can use term on a lot of things. You can use mortgage protection. You can use it on final expense if you really want. You can even use it on business owners and business partners. I've done that in the past. So there's a lot of creative things you can do with these products if you just think outside the box. And that's what I do inside the home. So when I'm doing this stuff in here, when I'm using this, this kind of material inside the home, I understand a lot about these individuals. I understand about their children, their bank, their home, what they're going to owe. I understand the interests. I'm teaching them about the interest that they're going to earn. I keep their names handy, like Mary's 59, Randy's 66. The monthly mortgage is $1,800. They got 401k that's worth $90,000. And I'm teaching them how to use that as mortgage protection too. So let's get into that. Mortgage protection is nothing but a number. It means that somebody received a number. 9 times out of 10, it's the woman. She's going to get something from Harry. What does she receive is the question. While they stand, where they're at right now, what does she get? So finding that out, we know that Social Security pays this guy $3,000 a month. She's getting $1,000 a month. For her to receive that, she's got to wait 6 to 12 months in a worst case scenario. That's in today's era. Why is that? Because of the processing, is what I asked. And the processing takes a while in the government and Social Security. Nothing happens fast. So while she's waiting, she'll also receive $255 from Social Security. That should help her do nothing. So we have Social Security income coming out where we have, what else are you leaving, Mr. Jones or Harry? The question is not, do you have? What do you got? Do you have a 401k that you're surviving on? Or is that how you live? Or do you have money in the bank? No. Harry, what are you leaving Ann? What else are you leaving besides the Social Security? However, we got to hit the brakes on that. She is going to wait 6 to 12 months for that, Harry. That's worst case scenario. And I have to be the worst case scenario guy, or I won't do you two any justice, okay? So don't always paint the prettiest picture in your mind on how it's going to be, Harry. Let's paint the worst picture, in fact, and protect her from that nightmare that she may live. Okay, so we have, look, guys, I run into $1 million. And when you guys understand that, when you do an annuity like that, that pays you big. I mean, some of you may earn 30,000, 50,000, 70,000, 80,000. You know, this is a big deal. So it's a lot of money, and that's where rapport to the point of trust on product knowledge matters, along with the rapport building in the human side. You got to have both of them down to sell numbers like that and above. So they got to trust you completely, because they have been with a stockbroker for how long? They love this person. They trust this person. They love this guy that takes 1% to 3% annually out of their money. They love all the fees, don't they? They love the fact that they participate in the high ends of the market, but also participate in the downsides of the market, flushing them out on an even basis, trying to make some money across the board without losing it all. Now, when somebody is at the ages of retirement, they're 65, they're 55 even retired, 65, 55, 50 years of age, and they got plenty of money to retire, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is that they cannot afford to lose it. This next stock market crisis might be the biggest one we've ever experienced in life. So how is somebody going to feel when they lose 70% of their retirement? And because you didn't understand this, you could protect that person. You know, you got to do your job, guys. 70% would be quite a huge hit, but stockbrokers don't care. They still make their money, you know. Of course, they don't make as much, but they don't care. They just really don't in many senses. I mean, I don't say stockbrokers are bad at all. I'm just saying, look, guys, at retirement, you're not going to see a stockbroker going to Mr. and Mrs. Jones saying, I can offer you an indexed annuity. They're going to offer them a variable annuity, which still participates in the downside. So, can you do annuity to annuity? Yes. I have done 8 annuities this week. Woman had 8 different ones, okay, across the board. We had to transfer each one into one big one, all right? So it all meets their standard needs, and it also is cool with the carrier. So it has to be really good. So with this particular situation, at $3,000 a month, she has $1,000 a month. She's going to receive $1 million. Can we reassure her if they're in the market that she'll receive $1 million tomorrow if he dies? In the market times? No, we can't. So what we want to do is show him the value of protection that he receives, only participating in the upsides, never participating in the downsides, no more fees, no more stockbrokers, just you and the life insurance carrier who knows how to make money beyond your stockbroker. This Harry, this guy, yeah, he kept you surviving, but you don't never know how he's choosing his companies. You might be asking the kid next to him, what did you choose for your guy? Does he really know all 250 companies? No, he doesn't. He's choosing. So Harry, let's do this. Let's take a look at an illustration for now that will protect your money, have you earning large interest rates on good markets, and no downsides. And then the taxation is completely low when you pull the money out and then the inheritance, Harry, is the more important piece of this puzzle we want to talk about. Your wife is going to pay taxes on this money. This is no longer your money. It's her money. So there's taxes due. What's she going to do with it? Give it to the stockbroker? You pay taxes on this, and you leave your wife with $600,000. In my scenario, you can leave way, way, way closer to that $1 million. Okay? It becomes life insurance here. And can receive majority of the puzzle. So what we want to do is stop you from downside market potentials, only participate in the upside potentials, and never lose another dime again, Harry. So here's how the illustration will look. Harry, you can get, at his age, I think it's a 10%. We're going to give you a 10% bonus. You can take a look at an illustration. It annually gives you about 8% kickback. How do we know this, Harry? Well, we take a look back of about 20 years. But since the inception of indexed annuities about 40 years ago, this stuff has never lost a dime. How do you think these big guys, even your stockbroker understands this? but he can't sell this product, so that's why he's not offering it to you. So you got 40 years of proof, you got 20 years of this company's proof showing you about how you can double your money every 10 years. Harry, you're not touching it. It's just sitting there. You're hoping it earns. It can participate in the downsides. Why tempt it to lose money, Harry? When you're age 65, you don't have enough time to get 300,000 back, $500,000 back. So yeah, I've never lost any money. Harry, that's not true. Every year he takes one. Does he take 1% or 3%, Harry? Let's just get to the bottom line since you made that statement. Does he take 1 or 3% out of this annually? He takes 3. So if you do the math for this guy, and he's taking 3% out of this, what is that? It's like, is that 30 grand? Or is that 3,000? I can't do the numbers quickly enough. So somebody can help me out. 30,000 bucks. So he's got 30 grand coming out of this, right? And that's on an annual basis. So you're telling me in 10 years, Harry, you're paying this guy $300,000? That would put you at 1.3 million with us. Now, extra money, which means since you double your money, Harry, you'll be at $2.6 million in 10 years. And here's the proof. Harry, do you have a computer? Yes. You have a printer? Great. I like to get it printed up, guys, so I can show tangible proof of this. It's vital to me to get it in their hands. And for you, it may just be showing it on the screen, but I really like to have it in their hands. I don't have to print the whole illustration out. But at this point, you really want to get the illustration. Harry, let's take a look at an illustration. Let's show you how to get your wife all this money. Let's show you how to possibly double your money in the next 10 years. And let's show you how to never lose another dime again. Fair enough? Great. Let's check it out. All right, and that's it, man. So, finding the money, I think, may be the most difficult part for more advanced people out there. But I was ballsy enough from the beginning to start asking people. I think I was in the business for about a year before I sold my first annuity. And of course, I had somebody take me out, and basically back then they used to train you and they used to keep all the money and tell you that your training was worth $25,000 or 50 grand. It was ridiculous. So with us, you're going to get some money out of this deal when you go out and field with us, and you find an annuity, you contact somebody that knows what they're talking about, you get the proper illustration done, and then you present it properly too, okay? So that's an advanced way. I said an advanced way. So another way to pull this off is by simply getting the mortgage sale done. Even if you don't get it done, come back with the illustration. So if you sell your mortgage protection product first, all right, you're going to know that you made some money there. That's important for newbies and even more advanced reps who still need a weekly income. It's vital that you focus on the sale of the mortgage protection. And then when you're able to leave that house and properly organize this and get the right illustration, because at this point, this guy might go online, he might start looking, he might look up your name. A lot of people look me up my background. And a lot of people will look up other options too. So you got to come up with the best illustration to max out it, just make them the most money with the most protection, and what kind of benefits does it come with? So if you go into a nursing home, do I get all the money? Yes. So am I going to be promised, am I guaranteed 8%? Harry, you're not guaranteed 8% where you're at now. Here's what you are guaranteed, is zero being your hero. So 0% earnings, but you'll never see a negative. You'll never ever visualize a negative sign again in your career. You'll never participate in these downside market volatilities, okay? That's your protection. Outperforming the product you're in now. In the years to come, this is proven side by side most of the time to outperform the 401k, the IRA, and things like that, because it's just not the smartest guys in the world running the show for you, Harry. I know you like the guy and everything, but isn't it time to like and more? Let's protect your wife. Harry, what I'm saying to you, buddy, is this. You got $1 million. I applaud you too, by the way, for that. You got $1 million. Let's add 100 grand on overnight. Okay? So that's how I get the sales, sometimes through the bonus too. So in 1 year, we got him 180,000 bucks or so. Can your stockbroker get you to 180 grand? So I'm just throwing that in as extra. You use the illustrations when you're talking to them. Show them the numbers that they can participate with. Okay? Saying the word guaranteed, you shouldn't do that. that'll get you hurt, and that's bad business. Because they're going to find out one way or the other. You don't want that to happen. So let's protect Ann. Any questions? Chris, can we open the mic up a little earlier today to see if there's any questions? I don't know if there is or not. I don't even know if anybody's on it. But if anybody has any questions on this side of the puzzle, I'm going to call you later. Yeah, call me up, John. Anybody have any questions? You could ask right there in that comment section too. Any questions over here? I tell you what, to be honest with you, like when I was training, man, this word question I'm asking is the way to larger numbers. I've been where you're going. I understand what you're going to go through. I know what they're going to say. Once it becomes repetition, the objections no longer become objections, they become solutions. So they're not the way out the door, they're the way in the door, okay? Use the objections, entitle yourself to a lot of money, and do the business right by learning your products, presenting well, and getting people taken care of on a weekly and daily basis. I'm going to tell you another thing. If you would begin starting this week to look at your monthly income, even though most of you need a weekly income, for the more advanced people, you can start looking at the monthly income and stop looking at the weekly. And your stress will come down if you still get 20K at the end of the month, but Monday, this week you didn't do anything, this week you did something, this week you didn't do anything, and this week you did something. You'll stop stressing about the weeks you didn't do anything. And you'll just participate in your mind with a monthly income. That's when you become a real soldier. You start trusting this business so much that you know at the end of the month that number is going to be there. Because what is this game? It is a numbers game. That's why your resources and having great leads is so vital to your future. You've got to have, if you want to own a business, you can't not market the company. You've got to market your company. So very vital to your future. I don't know how to open the mic up, so Chris, I don't know if you're there or not, but if there's any people want to ask questions, you can do that. What did you ask? Anybody have any questions? Robert Weathers, you always have questions. You don't have any questions today? Where are you at? You should be buying leads. Everybody that's on this thing should be buying leads, purchase leads, invest in the leads. Do whatever word I got to use. Get your lead on a weekly basis. Get in the homes, man, and start making some big numbers. All right, so what do we do for younger people? We strategize ourselves to build Mr. Jones. He's 40 years of age. Mrs. Jones, 50 years of age. What do you do when somebody's older but the income's higher? So what I mean is he has a larger income, but she's probably by age going to die first. Is that true? Is that a true statement? So we don't know, of course, but I'm saying by age. Mrs. Jones, by the way, is age 50. Could she die by age faster? Well, the first thing I want you to know is men usually go first. They usually have the larger of the incomes. We're always usually searching 9 times out of 10 for what Mrs. Jones will need when you're in the home. So finding the facts out from him will lead you to protecting her. Okay? So when you get to understand that, it becomes a valuable tool, and it makes your job a lot simpler when you're new to this business. So 9 times out of 10, when you're new, remember to protect Mrs. Jones, knowing Mr. Jones is probably okay. Point and say, he's got $3,000 a month, she's got $1,000. Some of the things I want to take into consideration when you're doing this is that you are new, or you may be more advanced, but you want to hit bigger numbers. The only way you can really stress this is by seeing more people, obviously, and then getting into the annuities. And when you get into the annuities, your life changes big time. The numbers become very large. When you become good at it, and you're able to do what I do and sell literally 1 to 5 a week. That's no bullshit. On average, I get 1 to 3, but I have done 1 to 5 on a regular basis too. So 1 to 3 annuities a week. It's fact, okay? It adds a lot of money to you and your business, allowing you to build an organization, save the money, put it away, instantly become a part of your business by getting a lead flow going. So when, I don't want to say if you land an annuity, no, when you sell, provide protection through an indexed annuity to your clients, you're able to earn a big money. Bottom line is you get big money, you put it towards your lead resources, your business, and the whole 9 yards. So, like I said, there's no questions. Let me answer this Make enough to get a hacker in the tracker. Oh, you son of a bitch. Yeah, Ray. You get a hacker in the tracker. That's funny, man. You used to be my main boy. John Malley's on here, too. He used to be my main comp, too. So, any questions on this side of the map? I'm going to take this last 10 minutes, and if you guys want to learn something, here it is. Knowing what to do is vital. So, what is the monthly mortgage? How much is owed on the home? What's the total? 100, 200,000, 300,000? Say it's 300,000 bucks. Let's jump the numbers up. The monthly payment is 2,000 bucks a month. $300,000 mortgage. He's bringing in $3,000 a month. She's bringing in $4,000 a month. That's $7,000 a month total. Now, you may think, wow, they can afford a lot. No, their lifestyle is different than yours. They got more bills. Now, if they would live like normal human beings and would buy a $300,000 home to live in to build them up and work their tail off, they would be living a little better and have $1,000 left over, $2,000. With these individuals, I want to share with them the possibilities of taking $500, $1,000. I have even gotten premiums as high as $2,000 a month to shovel into the indexed annuity illustration for retirement. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, would you like to work for the next 15 years and then be out of the game with a very large number? Yes. So let's take a look at an illustration that will provide you with, yes, your investment is $1,000. That's $12,000 a year. That's $120,000 every 10 years. But what if I told you you get to $120,000 and be close to $750,000 or be close to $500,000, depending on that strategy, be close to $300,000? Would that sound interesting to you if I could get you these numbers? How fast? 10 to 15 years. Let me see if I can do something like that for you. Now, what I'm doing is I'm spiking their interest. I'm going to do the illustration. I calm it down. A lot of people want to under-present and over-deliver. I kind of sometimes do the opposite just to get them. You got to understand where I'm at, man. It is one of the most difficult areas I have ever worked. And I've worked several states. I pull strategies out of my rear end to get this stuff done. I got to keep this roof over my head, but I'm always doing the right thing. I'm actually doing the right thing for them. I'm constantly showing them how to do the right thing for themselves and their family. So I can get an investor going at $1,000 a month by showing and providing this and the information. Why? Because they're already using $1,000. If I take $7,000, let me do this. If you take somebody who earns $7,000 a month and you find out what their lifestyle's like, you'll find an extra $1,000 a month being blown that could provide them a way out early. And if you do your job right, they might say, no, 9 times out of 10, they're going to go for this number. 500 feels good about handling. If you got 7,000, can you live on $6,500 a month, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, is my question. Can you survive? Take all these numbers down. I just want to know, can you survive on that number with the way things are structured now? And usually the answer is yes. I could survive on it. Okay, great. Let's take a look at what I can offer you. Now, a couple things will happen is, one, Mrs. Jones, you're going to be well taken care of. Number 2, God forbid something happens to Mrs. Jones, you'll always have the cash percentage. You're building a savings account that is earning interest. Yes, it's an investment, but you have access to this at all times, guys. And then when we turn on the fountain, you'll have money for life and income for life, because a lot of people out there do not have 401ks or IRAs or investments to strategize themselves for retirement. But you have the strength and power and knowledge to do this for them. And if you get into it, man, and learn how to do it, which is simply, even if you don't know what the hell you're doing, start by presenting them. Just say, I got a product that'll do this. Get your illustration. Start there. Sometimes you just got to shove yourself into the game, man. You just got to play ball. You know what I mean? And just know that your upline will do you the favor of presenting it even on the phone for you. So if you get me on the phone or Chris or somebody on the phone, they're going to help you present this with Mr. and Mrs. Jones. So it's valuable tool. There was something lastly that I wanted to teach you guys, and it was very little. Any questions? Let's see something. Can I work this time? Yes. No. All right. Any questions over here? Anybody? Anything? Anybody got something on? Anybody? 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 What else can I teach you guys today? Ask me a question. What are you running into? What's this thing at an open mic? This thing at an open mic that I can hear you guys over here? No, I can't. But you can post it. You can ask me the question anywhere in the post. You can ask there. So you are going to get on a steady lead order this week. You're going to take one carrier and you're going to learn A, B, C products inside that carrier. Then you're going to take another carrier and you're going to do it over and over again. And go back to school, man. What the hell are you doing? You went to college? You went to high school? I don't know. I mean, I never really was book smart, man, but I was smart in knowing that if I had to study something and it cost me $10,000 a week not to learn it, I'm gonna freaking learn it, man. So why aren't you studying? Like, I don't grasp it. What pulled you back from studying products? Is it too fun outside? Is the repetition of the life you're living too great? I mean, what's going on? I mean, my reps, please get into studying your product. I almost want to. I got to go to a classroom someday so I can just have you all in front of me so I know I can watch and see what you're doing and we can really get involved. Here's why I care about your future. What I know is I know that each and every one of you every single week passes up, literally passes up $10,000 to $100,000 of money every single week across America. That has lost to life insurance reps who could have earned that money, could have easily taken that home with them that week. But they refuse product knowledge. Sure, my stuff is great. My presentation in the house works. The language I use works. I'm here to give you tips and tricks, guys. But I cannot enforce enough about the product knowledge. You've got to get involved with it, please. So with that being said, if there's no other questions, I think I'm going to take my Harley out today. I don't know. You know, that option, right? It's a nice day. I don't think it's raining. It rains every damn day in Florida, so. There was one more thing I wanted to tell you, and it was so important that I can't believe I forgot. Give me 1 second, but if there's any questions, please ask the questions, okay? Makes my life simple. Oh, how about what are you reading? Are you a believer that leaders are readers? I'd like to start some kind of book club where, you know, every week we read a chapter and we kind of discuss it. And we can do it over the phone, we can do it over this, we can do whatever. But leaders are readers. I mean, John Maxwell's a great read. Steve Harvey's Jump. What I was talking about earlier was jumping into it. When I read this on the trip to Aruba that we went, that you understand that life is about getting involved, man, and really participating with things that you may be afraid of. And fear, false evidence appearing real, will hold you back from that extra $10,000 or $100,000 a week. That's it. Education. Why are you afraid of getting education? Do you not see yourself earning big money? Remember when you got hired and somebody told you that I earn $250,000 a year, and you're like, whoa, I can do that too. Where did that passion and fire go? Did it leave you? Is it no longer with you? Why did you lose that? And you need to understand why you're no longer participating at a very high level. Is it because you think that it doesn't work? I can't ever do it, but how did they do it? I agree with you that not enough managers across the nation teach their reps the valuable strategies that are behind the in-home sales process, but more importantly, how to structure their business properly through lead orders. I believe that too many people are hired that are broke, who should not be hired yet until they get money into their pocket. A lot of people think that they can get into this business. A lot of people have their ears open for free this, free that. How many of you have ordered free leads and you're still here today wondering, how do I make it? I'm going to teach every single week how I do it, and that's all I can provide you. But what you can provide yourself with is a weekly education on products. You can get your lead order started. Do your finances. My home costs this much. My rent, my car, eating out. Have fun in life. I'm not saying steal your life from you, but you will have to make this word here. Sacrifice to become extraordinary. If you sacrifice time to this business, money to this business, education to this business, helping others in this business, learning from others in this business, those 5 rules will help you provide you the sacrifice necessary to get what you want out of this career. And what do you want out of this career? Well, everybody says that they want to be an agent first, right? And then they want to be an owner second. But if you can't even be an agent, how are you supposed to be an owner? You know, I don't choose an agency unless I know the person I'm talking to knows about the carriers, the internal workings of the carriers. They better, because I don't. I need their education. So don't think that you're dumb, an idiot, or anything. A lot of you need to get involved in the educational system of this business. You know, your carriers they offer back office training and things like that on products. If today you took 1 hour out of the 24 hours God offers you today, would it kill you? Just would it kill you? Or make you feel bad in any way to watch a 1 hour video or 30-minute video on a product? My favorites are Foresters, Smart UL, Plan Right. They really are my favorites. I'm not just writing this down because I want you. These are my favorite. I mean, Smart UL, F&G. Thank you, Chris, for teaching me every day about these products. 8% I love. I love in my mind that I know that's possible for people. You know what I mean? I love the fact that I know that I can provide people with a future that will provide their family with a future. So when I take somebody out of the picture, that this person's going to survive because of what I did. Because if I was a doctor or an attorney, would my education just stop if I was in the business? No, I would continue. That's how they get where they're going. Education, man, it's vital. I never thought it was in high school or even before that, man. Believe me, I started my first company at age 15, so I got out of the game very early. But I was very successful very early too. But you know, education becomes important. What you learn, how you pull it off too. So learn the insurance language too. That's what I wanted to key in. There is an insurance language. I never thought I'd be an insurance rep, but it is like the coolest thing on earth to go to somebody's house, walk in, say what's up, you know, make them like you, and then provide the products to them. So if there's no questions, I'm going to allow you to go now, and you go have fun and do what you do best. And I would provide you with some information here. And the last thing I would tell you to do, Danny, if I fly down there and meet you all and train, would you all be okay with that? I like hands-on training. Yes, we would, brother. You can come here, and I've taken many reps on before, even from other organizations, and trained them. And there's a lot of business owners out there that have no idea that their reps are training with me. And I don't take your reps, man. They're just asking me for this education. But if you do a ride-along, I want to tell you this. If you would do a ride-along with me and see me in action in the home, which would be great for recording that would be fantastic. And then you watch these videos, you'll get it. You'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. When I'm doing this shit and this, and I'm pointing all over the place, you'll understand the numbers. There's so many different things that can happen in a house that you never know what you're running into. So you have to learn how to become a chameleon. And I'm going to tell you right now that you need the product knowledge, guys. Just please get the products down. All right? It becomes so easy then. It really does. Your life will become so much simpler. All right, if there's no questions, that's it for me, man. No questions. Any questions? Any questions over there? Seriously? Serious questions? The answer is yes, bud. Just text me and call me after this, and we'll get you scheduled in and stuff like that, okay? So, I don't know what else to say to you guys, but, you know, I keep repeating myself about the education. It's vital. It's important. You got to do it. Stop sacrificing $10,000 to $100,000 a week and start getting the education you and your family deserve and your reps deserve. Now, if you were watching this and you were from another organization and you would like to try these systems out, I would like to provide you with my telephone number. You can call me. We can discuss your options here and with the education that we provide at this company. Okay? So if that's all for today, nobody has any questions, I'm going to be rolling out. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you every Friday at 11 a.m. Okay? Every Friday at 11 a.m. Do not miss Chris's trainings on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then you're all going to see Alyssa is going to bring the telephone calls live to you, setting live mortgage protection calls, and providing you with education on how she writes each app and how she knows how to write that app. Okay, we'll bring that next week. I'll see y'all soon. Thanks. Here, by the way, if you want to join, text that and I will talk to you. Oh, let me send that first. Okay, there you go. Text your number, text join to that number, and I will contact you and we will discuss your future with my company and how we can get you trained up and bring more value to you, teaching you how to bring more value to Mr. and Mrs. Jones, and then learning how to sell larger premiums and then larger products is a big valuable tool that I teach a lot of reps. So if you're interested in joining this company, text me, join, and I will see you all later. Thank you. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for being on here. Chris, I'm going to get out of here, and that's it. So I believe we didn't talk about how to shut it down, so I think I'm just going to do this here.